All right, so today we are taking a deep dive into something pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's called EmtNuts.
EmtNuts.
And, well, it's a programming language.
Okay.
And honestly, even when I first heard the name, I was like, what?
Yeah.
EmtNuts, what is that?
Right.
And the source that we have is actually an article called EmtNuts, programming language.
Okay.
And it's actually from a website called EmtNuts.
So the website and the programming language have the same name.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so it feels like they're very closely related.
Right.
And the creator, Mihigo ER Anaja, seems like a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
He developed EmtNuts back in 2022, but he doesn't just call himself a developer, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he calls himself the author of Time and Legacy and the programmer without stress.
Programmer without stress, huh? That's an interesting title to give yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if maybe these self-proclaimed titles are somehow connected to the philosophy behind EmtNuts itself.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe, he sees EmtNuts as kind of like a legacy project, his way of, shaping the future of programming.
And possible.
And maybe the programmer without stress part means that EmtNuts was kind of designed to be like super user-friendly,
Even for beginners.
Especially for beginners, yeah.
Right, right.
And actually, it wouldn't be surprising because the article also mentions that he's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's written like 9 books.
Wow.
And over 200 computer programs.
That's impressive.
And those are available on like GJ Shop and also his own website. So he's clearly a guy who is really passionate about making his work accessible.
Yeah. Well, let's get into EmtNuts a little bit, on a more technical level.
Sure.
The article mentions that EmtNuts is built on this foundation called Nuts, which is another programming language.
Nuts.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
I have dabbled in Nuts a little bit.
Okay.
It was known for being pretty approachable, especially for people that were just starting out with coding. It had like, simplified syntax and even incorporated like some visual programming elements, kind of like drag and drop coding and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was pretty neat.
So, if Nuts was about this like user friendliness,
right,
where does EmtNuts fit into all this then?
Well, the article keeps, saying this phrase, democratizing programming.
Yeah.
And I think that EmtNuts is probably taking like the core ideas of Nuts, and pushing them even further. So imagine a language where you don't have to be, this coding wizard to build like really complex applications.
Right.
Imagine being able to, like visualize algorithms, manipulate them with like intuitive tools, and you can, get rid of all that like dense, intimidating code that a lot of people, think about when they think about programming.
I mean, it seems like it would make sense.
Yeah.
And it even goes back to the whole programmer without stress idea.
Right, exactly.
So EmtNuts builds on Nuts.
Yeah.
It aims to make programming like accessible to the masses. But the article also mentioned like these advanced capabilities,
right?
But they don't really give us much detail.
They don't really go into much detail about that. But given what we know about EmtNuts' goals and what we know about like the current trends in programming, we can speculate a little bit. So we've talked about visual programming already.
Yeah.
But maybe EmtNuts also incorporates like AI-powered coding assistance, where the language can actually like help you write code. It can predict what you need.
Wow.
And even catch errors on the fly for you.
So it's like having a coding buddy built right into the language.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild, especially for beginners.
Right. And maybe they've also, simplified some of those like more complex aspects of programming.
Like what?
Like memory management
or
concurrency, and they've made them, easier to understand and easier to work with.
So it's powerful, but it's easy to use.
Well, yeah, that's the goal, it seems.
So just to sum up what we've talked about, we have EmtNuts, which is this relatively new language built on the foundation of Nuts, with the goal of making programming accessible to just about everyone.
To everyone, yeah.
And it might have, visual elements, AI assistance, and who knows, maybe even more cool features tucked away in there somewhere.
And this all came, from the mind of this guy who calls himself the author of Time and Legacy.
Right.
It makes you think.
Yeah, it really does make you think. Like with technology changing so rapidly, could could user-friendly languages like EmtNuts be the future of programming?
Yeah.
Could this be the key to getting more people involved in actually shaping the digital world that we all live in?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question.
It is.
And only time will tell.
Yeah.
But it is an exciting idea.
It is. It is. And hey, maybe someone listening to this right now will be the one to answer this question. Maybe they'll dive into EmtNuts, join that community that the article talked about, and create something really incredible.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The possibilities are definitely intriguing.
They are.
Yeah.
So if you're even a little bit curious about EmtNuts, I would say, check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
See what it's all about. And hey, maybe check out some of Mihigo ER Anaja's other work as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He sounds like a fascinating guy.
Yeah, very interesting.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into EmtNuts.
Yeah, this was great.
It's been a nutty ride, that's for sure.
It has. It has.
All right. We'll see you next time.
See you later.